Did you know Trump officials halted federal homelessness funding for Los Angeles?
The Trump administration has halted federal funding to the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority, escalating tensions between Washington and California over homelessness policy, local governance, and federal oversight. CalMatters reported that the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development is blocking funding to the agency and raising concerns about financial management and oversight. This story is deeply local and deeply national at the same time. Los Angeles is one of the epicenters of America's homelessness crisis, and federal funding is a major part of how local agencies support shelters, outreach, housing placement, and services. According to CalMatters, the Trump administration blocked federal homelessness funds to the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority, commonly known as LAHSA. The action comes amid scrutiny of the agency's finances and performance, and it adds a new layer to the long-running debate over whether homelessness policy in Los Angeles is failing because of lack of money, poor management, local politics, or all three. For people watching outside California, the question is simple. Does cutting off federal money force accountability, or does it hurt vulnerable people by disrupting services? Supporters of the Trump administration's move may argue that federal dollars should not keep flowing without clear results and financial accountability. If agencies cannot prove where money is going, or whether programs are working, the federal government has a responsibility to intervene. Critics argue that withholding funds in the middle of a homelessness crisis can make conditions worse. Shelters, outreach teams, rental assistance, mental health services, and permanent supportive housing programs often depend on predictable funding. A sudden disruption can cause immediate operational strain. The political context is important. Trump has repeatedly criticized Democratic-led cities and California leadership on homelessness, crime, immigration, and governance. California officials, in turn, often accuse the Trump administration of using federal power to punish political opponents. That means this funding decision will not be viewed as a neutral bureaucratic action. It will be interpreted through the broader Trump versus California conflict. Los Angeles is not just another city in this debate. It is a national symbol of the homelessness crisis. The operational stakes are huge. Homelessness systems depend on coordination among city agencies, county departments, nonprofit providers, federal funding streams, and housing developers. When one funding source is interrupted, the impact can ripple quickly. Programs may delay hiring, contracts may pause, providers may reduce capacity. People waiting for housing placements may experience longer delays. At the same time, the federal government may argue that those risks are exactly why stronger oversight is necessary. If the system is too fragile to withstand scrutiny, officials may say that proves the need for reform. This is also a policy philosophy fight. One side says homelessness requires more housing, more services, and stable funding. The other side says current systems spend too much with too little accountability, and that funding should be tied to measurable results. Both arguments resonate with different audiences. Residents want visible improvement. Service providers want resources. Taxpayers want accountability. People experiencing homelessness need stability and support. The next question is whether this becomes a temporary funding pause, a negotiated compliance process, or a full political showdown. What should viewers watch next? 1. Whether HUD provides specific conditions LAHSA must meet to restore funding. 2. Whether Los Angeles officials sue or negotiate. 3. Whether service providers report immediate program disruptions. 4. Whether California's governor or congressional delegation intervenes. 5. Whether Trump uses the funding halt as part of a broader argument about democratic city management. Bottom line, the Trump administration's decision to block homelessness funding in Los Angeles is more than a budget dispute. It is a test of federal leverage, local accountability, and how America responds to one of its most visible social crises.
This has been an educational insight into the federal halt of homelessness funding in Los Angeles.